Hi, welcome to this Turnitin demo course. In this course, my instructor has enabled Turnitin to check for originality on paper submissions. She has also allowed me as the student to check my own reports. This is a setting that she had to enable, and your instructor might do things differently. If your instructor has given you permission to check your own similarity scores, you can use the Turnitin widget to link to the assignments list page to find your similarity score. When I click on the assignments list page, I don't click on the title of the assignment or I'll be taken back to that assignment. But if I click on the submission number, I'll see that it opens a submission history page, and on this page, I'll see the Turnitin Similarity Score. It does take a little bit of time to generate this score. Depending on how big the paper is and how busy the service is, you may need to wait a little extra time to see your similarity score. This was a small paper and only took about 5 minutes to appear. To see more details about my similarity score, I click on this little similarity score here, and it launches a new window where I can see more details about why I scored the way I did. Here I scored 45% out of 100, which means that Turnitin has found matching content for 45% of this paper. Scanning through the report, I see there are a number of quotes that are being identified as matches, found on different websites or submitted to a different paper at a different university. Here's another quote that is also matching, and some pieces in the bibliography itself that other people have included in papers. So that's why it's come up with 45%. Some of these may be legit. They're correctly quoted and cited, so those are matches that I could just ignore. I know this match shouldn't be counting against me because I've quoted that correctly. It's still nice to have the indication there though, so I can double check that I've provided correctly formatted citations for everything. Maybe I noticed this quote hasn't been identified clearly enough in my paper, so I may need to add something there. And the bibliography I can typically ignore if it's matching anything in there. I can also set a filter that will exclude the bibliography and adjust the score. Since I've identified bibliography here with a title, and then I apply those changes, now I'm down to 42% because it's excluded those particular matches from the bibliography itself. I can also go a little further if I want to exclude any quotes in my paper. When I apply those changes, I see that all of those quotes have been excluded from the similarity score as well, and now I'm down to 1%. And this 1% is really just a 3-word phrase, which is probably just a common phrase anyway. So excluding things is a nice way to double check that I've done things okay, but it may not mean that I've quoted everything accurately. It may not mean that I've correctly cited everything. So it's a good idea to first look at the report without those exclusions so that I can double check that I do in fact have accurate citations for everything that's quoted. If your instructor doesn't have the Turnitin widget on their homepage, you can request that they add it there to give you access to this assignment list page.